Palworld 1.0 just changed breeding forever? The old system? Gone. There's a brand new genetic recombination mechanic dropping July 10th. And if you don't understand it on day one, you're going to fall weeks behind every other player. I already dug into everything Pocket Pair revealed, so let me break it all down for you right now. If you want to use our Palworld Breeding Calculator, link is in the description. What's up, everyone? Welcome back. If you watched my Perfect Pals breeding guide, this video is the direct upgrade. Palworld 1.0 isn't just a new island or new pals. It's a complete overhaul of how breeding works at the core level. Today I'm walking you through exactly what genetic recombination is, how it changes your breeding strategy, and what you need to prepare right now before the July 10th launch. Let's get into it. What is genetic recombination? So first, what actually changed? In the old Faybreak system, breeding was essentially a passive inheritance lottery. You paired two pals, crossed your fingers, and hoped the right passives transferred over. It worked, but it was slow, random, and honestly felt like gambling. Genetic recombination flips that. Instead of purely random passive inheritance, the new system introduces a gene pool mechanic, meaning your pals now carry genetic data beyond just their visible passives. When you breed two pals together, the offspring pulls from a combined gene pool of both parents, not just surface-level traits. Think of it like this: in the old system, what you saw was what you got. In 1.0, pals carry hidden genetic potential that can express in offspring, even if the parent doesn't actively show that trait. This means you can now selectively build deeper bloodlines, not just breed for one generation, but plan 2 or 3 generations ahead for maximum efficiency. How the new system works. Here's the practical breakdown. In 1.0, every pal has a gene score, a hidden stat that reflects how genetically clean that pal's bloodline is. The higher the gene score, the more reliably that pal passes its traits to offspring. How do you raise gene score? 3 ways. First, catching wild pals of the same species repeatedly and condensing them raises base gene quality. Second, the new Genetic Recombination Station, which is a new base facility in 1.0, lets you manually splice genes between two pals of the same type. Third, breeding pals that already have high gene scores naturally produces offspring with elevated scores. The key difference from before: you can now see the gene data before you breed. No more guessing. The recombination station shows you a probability chart of what the offspring might carry before you commit the egg cycle. This is massive for efficiency. You're no longer burning cake on bad pairings. New optimal breeding loop. So what's the new fastest loop? Here it is. Step 1. On day 1 of 1.0, start catching high-volume duplicates of your target pal species in the wild. Quantity matters more now because you're building gene depth, not just finding lucky passive rolls. Step 2. Condense your best specimens at the pal condenser to raise their gene score as high as possible before putting them into breeding rotation. Step 3. Use the recombination station to preview pairings. Only commit to pairings where the probability chart shows 70% or higher on your target traits. Skip everything below that threshold. It's not worth the cake. Step 4. Your generation loop is now shorter. Because gene data is inherited more cleanly, players are reporting hitting perfect offspring in 2 generations instead of 3. That's a 30 to 40% time saving compared to the Faybreak system. Pro tip: build your recombination station. Early, it costs new 1.0 materials, so plan your resource run on launch day before you do anything else. What this means for your old pals. Now the big question everyone's asking: do your old Faybreak perfect pals still matter in 1.0? Yes and no. Your old pals keep their passives, but their gene score starts at 0 in the new system, meaning they're not automatically great breeders anymore. You'll need to run them through the recombination station to assess their genetic value before using them as breeding stock. The good news: pals with 4 clean passives from Faybreak tend to convert into decent gene scores naturally. So your grind wasn't wasted. You just have one extra step before plugging them back into your breeding line. That's the full genetic recombination system: gene pools, the recombination station, the new 2-generation loop, and what happens to your old pals. Start prepping your breeding stock now before July 10th, and you'll hit the ground running the moment 1.0 drops. If this helped, smash the like button and subscribe. I'm dropping a full 1.0 launch day guide the moment the update goes live, so you don't want to miss that. Drop a comment below. Are you starting a fresh save for 1.0 or keeping your old world? I'll see you in the next one. Script score.